We live? All right. Welcome to GGI Live, everybody. Episode 38, I believe, right, guys? 38 weeks in a row. We're happy to be here on a Thursday. Grateful to be here on a Thursday morning at 10:30, giving you guys some value, okay? You go-getters out there. And today, what we're going to be talking about here is 3 tips what to do with when a lead comes in, right? When that phone rings, there's some potential money coming in, and what you have to do to make sure that you are going to monetize that lead, okay? And make sure that you're organized throughout that thing, okay? So I'm going to start it off here, guys, with tip number 1. And tip number 1, in almost any transaction, is building rapport, right? So, for example, when someone gives me a call after I get the introductions and find out how they drove the lead, and that's one thing you always want to ask, I'm going to add another thing there, is how did you hear about us, right? So for example, your direct mailing campaign, for example, you may have different letters, right? So you might ask what the different color is and so forth, right? So you always want to be professional and building that rapport. So I always tell them, hey, you know what, my name is Saran. I'm a local real estate investment company here in Winnipeg, and I deal directly with property owners just like yourselves. And the beautiful thing about us is that we can save you a lot of money because we are not realtors and we don't require a commission, and it's a really simple process, right? So I say that right off the hop so they understand that I am a local real estate company here, and I tell them that it's a really simple process, right? They want to be relieved that it's this nice simple process, and then I just tell them I need some very basic information, and I go from there, right? And then I start getting all the things that I need from the property, which Taylor will kind of touch on a little bit.
Tip
pumped up today.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Which is then you got to start gathering the correct information. You know, you differentiate
Show
yourself,
the people
from all the other calls that they're making or other letters that are getting jammed in their mailbox by building that rapport, being transparent about who you are and what service that you bring. And like Saran said, the simple process is a big one to let them know about. But now you want to dive in to see if the deal or the other property on the other line, which is calling you, what's about the property, you know? So ask a very open-ended question. I like this question a lot, where it's, so tell me about the story of your house. Tell me a story about your house.
Tell me a story.
And then just leave an open-ended question like that and just go silent. And then just let them talk. Let them talk, and they're just going to start letting things out, and you're listening and you're writing things down on your seller lead sheet, which is something that the Go Getter Real Estate team and all our students have to systemize, because systems are very, very important. You need to systemize this process with the seller lead sheet to systemize the information that you're qualifying. So then, whatever they tell you, you're going to write it down, and then of course don't ask them double. Don't double ask them the questions that you already know the answers to, and then just go through, fill in the blanks to where, what's the bedrooms, bathrooms, repairs needed. Another tip is don't ask, so do you need any repairs? Because a lot of people don't think they need repairs. Just demand the repairs. Say, so what are we fixing when we come in? So what do I need to fix today?
Yeah.
And, or if you were to live there for 5 years, what would need fixing? So asking questions like that and trying to gauge what actually needs to be done. And there's a whole list of them, because anyone who owns a house or has owned a house or done renos, there's a lot of things that bring a house together to make it work. So
Absolutely.
A lot of information you got to tackle from there. And then once you have all of that, I think there's a third tip.
There is a third tip.
Oh my goodness.
So now what you've done is you build rapport. Like you said, there's a lot of people out there, not a lot, but there is more and more people every day that are jumping on this message that real estate is a great vehicle to financial freedom. They want to get started, right? They want to get their feet wet. And direct mails and driving in private leads is getting to become more popular, right? So you have to understand how to build rapport, like Saran said. How do you build rapport? How do you differentiate yourself as a person with your tone, your body language? Even though you're over the phone, the way you're sitting, the way you're smiling, if you're smiling on the phone, will manifested through your tone and will go to the other side, to the other person, right? So that's number one. Number two is the information that you have to collect. In order to negotiate and get the offer and the price that you want, it's not about, just finding it and the guy's like, hey man, what do you need? I need 70. Okay, well here you go, here's 70,000. That's not how it works. We have to know exactly all the information from head to toe. Their story, like Tay said, is the big thing, right? It's the story, it's the situation about them. That's how we bring the service. Exactly. That's where we bring the service. They might be in a foreclosure situation, which a lot of people just don't like to give up. But if you have good rapport and you have good tone and you make people feel welcome and they understand you're providing a service, they're more likely to give that story up. Right? That's why tip number one was build rapport, get the story. Tip number three is when you get all that information, you've built that rapport, now you have to figure out. It's about time is very important. Right? Huge. So you can't just pick up the phone and say, I got a deal, right away, you're going to go check it out. Because a lot of the phone calls that you'll get, they're going to be dead leads. So how do you qualify the lead after you get all that information? Is it a hot lead? Is it a warm lead? Is it a cold lead? What am I doing with it? You have to qualify it and figure out, am I going to go check it out? Right? So once you get all that's why it's important to have that information. So how do you qualify? You have to know exactly what you want. That's where it starts. Right? What exactly is your business model? Right? I'm just focusing on the Facebook Live. I got to talk to the Instagram peeps. So what is your model? Is it a fix? Is it BFR? Are you wholesaling? Right? So once you get the information, you can kind of dive into price points. Right? So you can find out where they are. So I know, for example, if someone says 120 in our seller lead sheet, we have questions that we ask them, like, if I'm a cash buyer, if I close quickly, or if I'm buying it as is, or if I do something for you, are you flexible on that price, right? Can you come down to 100, right? Now, if they say, no, I'm going to be stuck at that 120, but you need it at 100, then it's not necessary for you to necessarily go down and check out the property yet, right? You can do a follow-up, you can do a call back and see where they are. So that's more of a warm lead. If the guy drops his price down to 100 right on the spot on the phone, by 20K, then you're like, okay, this is something that I definitely should go check out and negotiate because there's some room there. And they've told you that, hey, I got no mortgage on the property.
Exactly.
Through the story.
And these are questions that you ask, right?
That you have
and
to
if
ask.
you build that rapport, like we're talking about, these questions, and most of the times, I would say maybe 60% of the time, you're probably going to get what they actually owe on the property. You're probably going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, even it's all tone. It's all tone and rapport. So exactly. I mean, that number could be even higher depending on how you present the question itself. So, like Nam said, find out the qualifier because you don't want to waste your time.
Exactly. So if it's a hot lead because you know what you're looking for and you know the model and you know that area, so you know that based on the situation of the seller, is what really determines if it's a hot lead or a cold lead or a warm lead, right? So if the seller is like, I got this property, I need it gone in 2 weeks' time, like that one on Simcoe, 2 weeks' time, I need it gone, and the team wholesale it off in 48 hours, that was a hot lead. The price wasn't necessarily this, we have a good buyer's list, but the motivation of the seller is what made it so hot. So we had to go down there right away, put it on the contract, and move it for her, right? But if someone calls you and they're looking for a retail price, the place is in good condition, they're just looking to sell it, they're like, I'll see what I can get out there, that's a cold lead. So there's no point in you going down to that property and wasting your time. Right?
Exactly.
So that's why you want to qualify a lead. So those are three major tips. Guys, if you guys want to learn more, I've been talking about it all month. April 11th, our monthly event, Homewood Suites. Okay, 6 to 9:30. You're going to learn tons of value. Everyone that's been following us on GGI Live, we're going to give tons of value at the event. So definitely come check it out. You're going to find out how you can win one of our Go Get It Millionaire playbooks. Okay, and anyone that wants the seller lead sheet that we're talking about here, which is the seller lead sheet, right? It's in the Millionaire Playbook, but we want everyone to go out and take action. That's what we're about, right? We want you to go out and take action. So if you want a copy of our seller lead sheet, direct message us your email address, right? And we'll hook you up with it. And you can go out and take action and be a little bit more organized with your leads as they come in.
Because
Yeah.
you need this. You
Okay.
need this.
You need
You need to be
systems.
systematic.
You need systems.
You need to
don't
be.
have a system.
You need to be in the know.
Don't have
Yeah.
a
You
business.
need to be in the know,
You
right?
need to be in the know.
So, the last thing is I'm going to put the link on that event. So everyone register. If you know anyone that wants to get started in real estate, learn how to do it, zero capital. That's how we started.
Yeah.
Right? Come
Hook
to
'em
the
up.
event,
It's a
guys.
free event, guys,
Okay?
so come on down.
Just take action.
Yeah.
Dreams are big,
But-
but taking action is
Bigger.
Bigger.
Way bigger.
Way bigger. I think that's it for
That's
today.
That's it. That's
GGI
GGI
Live.
Live 3-8.
3-8.
We'll see you next week
Go get it.
at 3-9.
Go
Go get
get
it.
Thursday.
Take care, guys.